Well, the government had an idea and Parliament made it law. They say disabled people can't live independently anymore.
My name's Bennett-Powell and I was involved in the campaign to save Merton adult education provision when the council wanted to transfer it to a commissioning model.
Hi, my name's Claire. I'm involved with Merton Centre for Independent Living and the Go Forum, which is a campaigning group of disabled people in Merton. And we ran a campaign last year against £14 million of social care cuts.
I'm Kevin Caulfield from Hammersmith and Fulham Coalition Against Cuts.
Hi, I'm Doug. This is Gimbal. I think Gimbal's doing a sit-down protest. I'm a wheelchair user with neurological problems.
Right, I'm Jackie. I'm a Merton resident and I've been involved with lots of local campaigns.
Yeah, my name's Dominic Twomey and I work in the campaigns department at Amnesty International.
I'm Councillor David Chung. I'm myself disabled and I'm the Mayor of Merton for this year.
Which side are you on, my boy? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, my boys? Or which side are you on?
And some of our top tips for campaigning include, well, be fearless because we only live once, but make sure you have a really independent campaign group that's not funded by people in power so that you can be fearless in relation to those in power.
It's not always comfortable, that sort of situation, is it? However, through challenging things, I feel like in some instances I've been able to make a change.
The people who succeed, they kind of radiate something. I mean, it's that kind of never say never kind of thing. It's contagious because they transmit it to others.
They say that we're a burden. They say we're on the ground.
My first tip would be make sure your message is really clear and unambiguous. The idea is that someone can just pick up your leaflet and they should know exactly what you're campaigning about, all the details and things like that.
Stick to your aims and your message, even if it seems unlikely that you will achieve them. For example, we were told by a council leader in Hammersmith and Fulham, you will need to start living in the real world and understand that there will never be no charging of services for disabled people in this borough. And now Hammersmith and Fulham, since April 2015, no longer charge disabled people for services. So he was wrong and we got the last laugh.
Say our life's not worth living, then they stick us in heaven's waiting lounge.
We're in a very demanding climate at the moment because all you're hearing about is cuts, cuts and more cuts. And of course, disabled people are already experiencing those cuts in terms of reduction in services, right? And we must never forget that. So I think it's important that we actually give each other as much support and encouragement as we can. You do best when you actually have support, there are a number of you doing it together. Because that's when you actually feel a little bit like you don't want to carry on, somebody can give you a bit of encouragement.
Finding other people that agree with you is absolutely vital. Find people who will take action. Now, you might think if there's lots of people who agree, you'll have lots of people that will act with you, but they won't because they will be nervous, they will think it won't matter, it won't make a difference. So what you have to do, it doesn't matter if there's two of you that agree, find a third person. Once you've got three, each of you can find a friend, you've got to six. And a small group of people who agree what they want to change and agree on an action can actually really have a big impact, because once you've got six people, you can then roll that out. And six people taking action, having a bit of success and then sharing, that's at the heart of every single successful network of activists who've changed things.
Build relationships with local politicians where you can. You never know what might happen in the future. Make good connections with lawyers if you can. Understanding the legal process is really important for disabled people and disabled people's organisations.
Which side are you on, the boys? Which side are you on?
We got people together and we worked out who could do what to communicate the fact that we didn't want this change to take place. Different people had different strengths and could offer different ways of campaigning. We used them all. We used petitions, we used council meetings and the opportunity to ask questions and speak at them. We used email, letters by ordinary post.
There is one particular angle that I'm reasonably good at. I wouldn't say that I was good, but over the years I've taken 40 odd cases, mostly without solicitors, to the court. I found my niche, if you like, something that I was reasonable at and create a change. But there are things that I'm really, really not good at, and community organising is one of them. I'm rubbish at working as part of a group. And I know that I know of other people that are very good at that sort of thing. And I would just not know where to start, So different people, different skills.
Which side are you on, my boys? Which side are you on?
And the other thing is, just make your campaign appeal as wide as possible, so that it doesn't just, it affects everybody, the changes and the positive aspects of your campaign and the goals, help as many people as possible.
We had our hashtag Nelson Says came from the fact that Lord Nelson was a disabled person who is strongly associated with Merton, and we added all sorts of things to that. So, no cuts to disabled people, your cuts are short-sighted, all sorts of puns on that. Another member of our group recorded a song and a video which we shared on YouTube quite extensively. We got that interest from the local media for the campaign because of things like that. We organised a petition. We produced a leaflet with which we lobbied all the local councillors, and we held 2 demonstrations where we got disabled people outside the council house. And on another event we had organised a football match saying Merton were playing political football with the lives of disabled people. We challenged them to a football match. So I think our tips were really to try and grab as much media attention, have a good hashtag, and just try and use lots of different methods.
They've given us our own minister. He's supposed to fight the cause, but every time that we ask him, he sticks in another capability clause.
The most powerful thing was to send directly messages that told councillors what the personal experience of people would be if they took away the adult education provision. We gave councillors the message that what they were doing was going to have a big impact on people with special needs, learning disabilities and physical disabilities, and we wanted them to know about that.
Remind politicians often, again and again, we are local residents. We're genuinely here to stay. We are voters and you need to listen to us, and not only listen to us but then act on that listening.
There's loads of things that you might want to campaign over. But in my own experiences, I've always started where I'm described as an accidental activist, because actually they've always been things that have directly affected me and my family, my neighbours, my mum. So I think starting where you are on things that affect you and realising that you can do something about it. Because obviously the powers that be want us to think we're helpless and there's nothing you can do. They will tell you they agree, but sadly there's not enough money. And it's a shame, but there just isn't the money. As if there is somehow a mythical pile of money that's all neatly and equally divided up. But sadly for you, your bit's at the very bottom and it's going to run out before it gets to you. And I did used to listen when people said, "Oh, sorry, there's no money." I used to think, "Oh dear, that's a shame. Oh, what, awful." But it's actually not about the money. If someone says to you there isn't enough money, what they're really, really saying is, you're not important. You don't count. And so when you hear, "Oh, we haven't got the money," what you need to hear from that is actually you have not persuaded them that you're important enough or that your campaign is a priority. So if you are told it's not about the money, do not let that be a setback. You have to absolutely redouble your efforts to persuade the powers that be that you are important and that yours is a priority.
Which side are you on, my boys? Which side are you on?
campaigning is a cycle, so make sure that if something doesn't work out the first time, that you reassess your options and then, go again and relaunch your campaign, maybe with a slightly different aspect to it. And never let up, because otherwise, once you may think a decision's been made, but it might get reversed and things like that.
If we hadn't done it, I think we'd be feeling very bad right now, and I'm pleased, therefore, that we mounted the campaign.
We must not actually be detracted. Even though things are difficult and demanding, we have to persevere, because that's the only way we make progress. And so the changes are not necessarily going to be massive changes. And sometimes these changes occur and we're not even aware that it has happened. So the important thing is not to worry too much about that, but just to press on. We in the disabled movement, I think, have to take on these little tips in order for us to continue. The issue of disability is actually an ongoing fight. Unfortunately, it's an ongoing struggle. I mean, I wish it was any other way, but my experience tells me that is how it's going to be, and we just have to bite the bullet and get on with it.
I think that even in this dark time, when so many people are being so disempowered and labelled as scroungers and cuts, meaning that they're not getting their rights, under danger of reduced support and all the rest of it, that, people like you and me still can make a difference.
You can always do something, even if it looks tiny and trivial. No act of campaigning is ever wasted, because firstly, you inspire the people around you. Secondly, even if you're not able to win, you make people question their choices and their judgments, and it is always possible to build on it. Yes, sometimes you'll try things and they won't work, but it is never ever a waste. And actually, and selfishly, from my point of view, I get so depressed at how awful the world is, and coming together with like-minded people who want to change it, working to do something, is always better. I always feel better after I've tried something, even if I don't win.
Which side are you on, the boys, or which side are you on? Because of all these changes, thousands of us have died. And if these changes keep on happening, what more proof do we need that you have lied? Which side are you on, the boys, or which side are you